Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, I want to get back to answering some of the comments and questions that might be there over the last couple of videos, because there was a lot that was covered, especially after we see what it is that Russia is doing. It was my opinion that Iraq should follow in the footsteps of Russia, how they're getting ready to go into the gold standard, and they're going to go into it. There's no doubt about it. I think if Iraq did the same thing as Russia, they'd be pretty set. That's for sure. There's no doubt about it. And they have enough oil to do it. And right now, I mean, they have the United States by the short fuzzies. They really do. Because Iraq's right now one of our main suppliers of oil. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest suppliers to us. So if Iraq did the same thing as Russia, this would be an awesome time. And it definitely would put Iraq way ahead of the curve. Before we get into that conversation, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. As I was saying, we are going to the gold standard, so right now is a good time to go buy gold and silver. When you go to buy gold and silver, go to our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code PIMPY, P-I-M-P-Y, and you'll get a free half ounce of silver. All right, let's go down these comments real quick and take a look. See, Andrew, what does he say? Iraq and other countries should follow Russia. Iran should accept Article 8, depeg from the dollar, and back the dinar with gold, and put it in the basket of currencies, including the AMF, the Arab Monetary Fund. I think you mean Iraq, not Iran, should accept Article 8. I think. They are a currency, by the way, that is considered in the Arab Monetary Fund. They're one of the 23 countries that their currencies are taken in consideration. One of the issues that the Arab countries have with, I think it's 3 different countries, is their currencies, in their opinion, are not at fair value. So it'll make a big difference once their currencies go back up. And one of those, of course, is Iraq. The reasons the courts denied that was because it didn't go far enough. There wasn't enough money in it. Not that they did not want it to happen. Are you talking about the court's decisions on the presidency or with the dinar? Thanks for your info, Pimpy. This is why I just switched up and started getting Bolivar. Getting $1 million for a cheap price. Yeah, I mean, even Venezuela, there's a lot of countries. Okay, just so you guys know, everybody knows, I've complained about this before, and that is some of the poorest countries right now are the ones that are actually the richest. It's the governments that do that. I believe there used to be a video going around of a guy naming off all the countries, and he was yelling and complaining about the fact that these countries are not poor countries. They're rich. It's just that the governments are so corrupt and it's affecting the people. And he named Africa, Venezuela, he did El Salvador, Iraq, Iran. I mean, he did a good job at naming countries, and I agree with him 100%. And it's a shame, it really is. But definitely Bolivar would be another one of those currencies. And without a doubt, the Russian ruble is going to go up. If they're going to the gold standard, and if that's the case, then whatever the price was before the sanctions, it's actually devalued, but came back up right back to where it was. It's going to go up even more. There isn't any doubt about it as soon as they go to the gold standard. All right, so Matt Dwight says, what? Please remember, Pimpy is a gold and silver guy. I'm a gold and silver guy? I'm not exactly that sure. Oh, do I like gold and silver? Yeah, I do. I like gold and silver. But I mean, heck, I've been talking about the dinar and the dong and gold and silver equally as long. So it's not a matter of one over the other. I talk about them all. I just have different thoughts on each of those investments, and they change depending on the information that comes across. But I stay grounded, that's for sure. Yep, every day, every day. Oh yeah, don't forget to buy gold and silver from my sponsor. It goes on and on and on. The carrot and the stick. Hopefully it's 24 karat gold. I believe is it Karen? Because that's a unique way to spell it. Kyran, or is it Kyran? Hey, Pimpy, do you know anything about the Venezuela currency? Or do I know anything about the Venezuela currency? I think it may be revalued. Well, before they can get revalued, they're going to have to do something about getting that government under control. It is one of the currencies I think people should keep an eye on, that's for sure. But you got to remember, some of these countries, like Venezuela, have oil, just like Vietnam, believe it or not, has oil, and their government has no intentions on doing anything real quick to increase the value of their currencies because other countries are taking advantage of the cheap labor. So again, you're dealing with corruption is the problem. Deborah says, "Truth is the truth." Yippers. Valerie, hi Pimpy. I hear trouble accessing cash from the bank. I had trouble accessing cash from the bank. Already bought lots of silver on the dip Saturday. Heck yeah. Please, should we get our money out of the bank and leave enough to cover bills, etc.? Will banks freeze with cash in next week? Can't find solid info. Thanks so much. So here's the thing, Valerie. I love you right back. I can only tell you what I do. You know what I mean? Because everybody does something different. And I have plenty of reasons to believe that a bail in is going to happen. Given all the things that's going on with the Great Reset, this World Economic Forum and what their plans are. Right now, they're talking about we're in the middle of a banking war. So apparently, there's a group of bankers that don't agree with this movement. It just depends on who's going to come out on top. But I wouldn't put it past our government to do a bail in. I mean, if their goal is to confiscate our money and force us into this universal basic income, then I mean, that would just make sense. But it's not just that, there's more to it. I don't want to be stuck with the central bank digital currency. So that's another reason why I don't really keep my money in the bank. Because one day they'll just wake up and they'll just say, "Hey, your money's now in the central bank's digital currency. You have to sign up for it. That's the only way you can get your money. The bank's no longer got money." I don't want to hear that. I'd be pissed. I'd be super pissed. So since I don't trust the banks, I personally don't keep money in the bank. I only keep enough to cover my bills. Everything else is invested in gold and silver mostly. Yeah, I have other ones, other investments that I hold on to. Just again, because I don't trust the banks. As a matter of fact, I even keep cash in my safe. That's how much I don't trust the banks. So, I can't tell people what they should do. That's on you. I can only tell you my opinion and why I have my opinion. But it isn't just mine. There's a lot of people that are telling you get your cash out of the bank. There's a lot of experts out there saying you guys need to get your money out of the bank. So it just depends on you as far as people's retirement accounts and stuff. Yeah, I could just tell you that all my bonds, my stocks, 401ks, IRAs, anything that I had, I liquidated and put it into gold and silver. Now there's a way you could transfer it into gold and silver if you wanted to. Just get a hold of Money Metals and let them know what your intentions are, and they'll help walk you through. Hi Pimpy, love your channel. Do you think it's a good idea to pull retirement money and invest it into silver? I mean, I just was talking about that. That's what I did. I mean, everybody, here's my thing. I can't tell you what to do because if you do it and then all of a sudden something happens, they're going to be like, "Oh, dang it, it's Pimpy's fault." So that's why I just share my opinion on this channel. Okay? So people always go, "Do you advise people?" And I go, "No, I don't advise anybody." Okay? Because I'm not a professional, financial person. I mean, I've done this for a while. I mean, I've formed my own opinions, and my opinions seem to line up most of the time with people who are professionals in the field. It doesn't mean all the time, but for the most part, yes. I respect a lot of people that are out there that are telling the truth about gold and silver. So I listen to them and I listen to them closely. But also, you learn how to spot trends when you're analyzing information. And a lot of the trends that are usually there that tell you, hey, it's time to be into gold and silver, those signs are there now. Okay. Even with those signs, though, it's crazy to see how much paper markets are just crushing gold and silver daily now. Absolutely doing everything they can to surpass the values of gold and silver. But like I said, it's not going to happen much longer. I mean, I think it's safe to be into gold and silver. It's outside of the system. If they try to force everybody, one day you wake up and everybody's in a central bank digital currency, at least you have something outside of the system. That's just my opinion. Money was stolen no matter who is in control. Like here, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Thanks for the info. Let's be honest, governments are corrupt. They're way past corrupt at this moment, especially ours. Our Constitution tells us that we have the right, obviously, that when the representatives are no longer there to represent the rights of the people, but are in office more for personal gain, then we have a right to divorce the government. In other words, abolish it and establish a new one. And that is in our Constitution. Be pimpy rich. Yeah, I wish I was a little. Look, I'm comfortable, but I am not rich. That's for sure. These countries need for the commonwealth to remain poor. Most of these countries are followed in the footsteps of the United States, and that is, they have a debt based economy. You have to be in debt constantly in order for the economy to function the way they want you to. And people always go, oh, this is capitalism. No, we're not in capitalism. We're not a capitalist country anymore. We're in what I call a manipulated capitalism. Our markets don't tell the truth. We know they're manipulated. The government doesn't report the right numbers. We know they're lying. The unemployment numbers, the economic numbers, the inflation numbers, they've hid the truth from us for a long time. So this truly is not a capitalist country. If this was a free-flowing capitalist country, we wouldn't be in the predicament that we're in. It's just unfortunate. You gave them good ideas not to RV or ID, and they may not give ATATs. No, I don't give them no IDs. They're their own country. They do their own thing. Pimpy, the courts do not have nothing to do with it. Only the central bank. You know that, buddy. Oh, yeah. Here's what happened. So somebody filed a suit over the devaluing of the Iraqi dinar. And I was thinking, what could the courts do? I mean, that's, that's in the hands of the central bank. And the central bank does run it by the finance minister, and then they go to the parliament and let them know what's going on. And, I know they vote on this type of stuff, but the truth of the matter is the final say is, between the finance minister, but mostly it's the central bank, the governor there. That's the final say. So the fact that they even took it to courts, I was like, what are the courts going to do? I was curious, but, you seen what happened. They dismissed the case. They can't do anything about it. My intel's saying Iraq is supposed to complete rate by the Wednesday deadline. A lot of people got so-called intel. They really need to vent their intel correctly because these people are wrong all the time. All the time they're wrong. And then the one day they get it right, you're going to hear them say, see, I knew all along. I was right and Pimpy was wrong. Keyword if, looking forward to 2025. Yeah, Brenda, 2025. So I said something about this earlier. People hate to hear it. But, they said they're not going to change the exchange rate for 5 years. They said that back in 2020. And so is that true? We'll see. We'll see. It really depends on a lot. And I told a lot of people in my videos that there's a lot of things to take in consideration whenever a rate change is being considered. And right now, Iraq doesn't meet most all of them. They don't have a stable government. They don't have a stable economy. 90% of the budget relies on oil sales. That's not safe. That's really risky. They don't even have a government installed, unfortunately. That's what I keep saying, Pimpy. Iraq has to go back to the gold standard in order for the dinar to revalue at an instant high rate. The world is moving to a gold standard. The countries that don't will receive no rain. The fiat system has run its course. Yeah, it was interesting to listen. Today, there was a video I was listening to on Chris Marcus's channel, Arcadia Economics. He had Tom Luongo on there, and Tom was saying something pretty interesting, that there seems to be some kind of banking war going on, but it was his opinion that Putin was working with our feds, believe it or not, to move into the gold standard, which I found very interesting. And I do agree with the fact that, I don't think our feds want to give up power. I know our government seems to want to turn over the power to this great reset and give up the power that the United States has as the reserve dollar. They seem to be doing everything possible to destroy the dollar. So yeah, it's interesting what he had to say. But yeah, once these countries start moving in, once you see somebody like, Russia starts going into there, we know China's going with them, then it's going to force everybody to do it. And the reason for that is the value of the currency for Russia, it's going to grow. It's going to become a stronger currency because it is backed by gold. And people are going to want that currency more than any other currency because of the gold. So if people don't go to the gold standard, you're right, they're going to get left behind. Their currency will have very little value because there's no gold to support it. If only the Iraqi government officials were as smart as Mr. P. Well, I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing. Let's be honest. Iraqi dinar should be at least $12. Barrel of oil before USA invasion was at $30 approximately. It is now 4 to 5 times that. Inflation adjusted is a must. Well, I don't know about that because, look, pre-invasion, the Kuwait dinar was around $3.14, and it still is today. So, I mean, even if you added in inflation and the price of oil has gone up and it isn't up to $12, that's something you can use as a measuring stick. I mean, the currency stays up there in value and it's supported by the oil a lot, yes, but there's other factors that need to be taken into consideration. Hi, Pimpy. Thanks for all your great info. Just set up a Wise account using my USA dollars, but Wise said they are selling or exchanging rubles at this time. Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of companies I'm looking into, but it seems like nobody is willing to do it on account here in the United States on account of the sanctions, and we might run into that with other exchanges. But I'll find one. Watch. Beware, Ezekiel 7:19, for in that day they will cast their silver into the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and gold will not deliver them. It says, what is that? For in that day. So it says one day. What about the day after? Does it have anything about the following day or the week after? What about the month after? Does it go back up? I'm not sure. Wow, this dude is intelligent. Thank you. I appreciate that. Excellent analysis, Pimpy. Yeah, it's just, to me, that's just the first thing that popped in my head. I know what it is that Russia's trying to do. And I thought to myself, well, wait a minute. You know who is got a lot of oil and could benefit from this? Well, heck, Iraq can. I said that would still be worth less than if it was 20 years ago. What's that? I don't know what would be less. I tried the site you mentioned. A notice came up saying we're temporarily stopped transferring the rubles. Thanks, Pimpy. Yeah, you guys, I saw that. Sorry, I should have said something. It's going to be hard because right now they're under sanctions, and so you would be the boogeyman if you found a way to get some. But let me see what I could do. It's not going to be easy. $3 revaluation will make the pink notes worth 75, not 75,000. Wake up, people. $25,000 notes you're talking about? I think that's what you're talking about. So it'd be worth 75, not 75,000. Not sure why you would think that. That's interesting. The current price of grams of gold in the USD is 67, and the ruble is at $55 a gram. Yeah, okay, so Frank, what they're doing right now is prepping for it. That's what's going on. Between now and June 6th, this has all been set. This is what's going on. This is what Russia is doing. But when that deadline comes, is it June the 6th or is it June the 30th? When that deadline comes, then we're going to see them move into the gold standard. We'll see. Trust me, when it happens, you'll know, because they're not going to be able to hold down the gold prices because the demand is going to skyrocket. Right now, there's a silver and gold squeeze going on, so it's going to be hard for people to get it in the first place. That's why I keep trying to stack up on as much as possible. Thank you, Pimpy. You are welcome. Pimpy, is it not too late to buy a dinar? I really need a house or a place to rent on my own. I don't make much, and I'm looking for a miracle. Thanks, Diane Va. People are still buying the dinar, but here's the issue, Diane. With everything that's going on, it's hard to judge when the rate change is going to happen. If you're listening to other people out there right now, they're promising you a rate change of $3.22, or it's going to happen next week, or their Intel person said they seen the numbers on the back screen. You hear all this stuff. So just be careful. People are blown away by how much dinar I have. I don't have as much as people think. I got 5 million dinars. That's it. People are like, why don't you have more? Don't you have any faith in it? Oh, no, that's not the problem. You see, it's not whether or not the exchange rate changes, because it does. All, currencies go through rate changes all the time. But what people are banking on is an RI or an RV. And I don't think that's going to happen. Of course, it could be wrong. I think the currency is going to go up in increments pretty quickly, though. But, it's going to go up in stages, is what I think. So how long that's going to take, I don't know, because I did a video on what it is that needs to happen in order for the exchange rate to change, and Iraq's nowhere near there. They can't even get the government in there. So, be careful about what it is you're investing your money into. Make sure that whatever you buy, as far as the dinar is concerned, make sure that you just buy with whatever discretionary funds you have. You know what I mean? So if you're going to buy like the funny thing is the average dinar holder has 250,000 dinars. I thought it would be much higher. So no, that is the average. Make sure whatever it is you invest in it. If you're looking for a miracle, I don't know if that's your miracle. It could be wrong. It's hard to say. Terrence says, "Okay, baby, we're done. Just stop it. It's not going to work yet." Yeah, we can hope and pray, but it's not going to change until we change our government system due to having a Democrat in office. Yeah, definitely. The current administration is a supporter of the Great Reset, and they're doing everything they can to force this country into that New World Order. There's no doubt about it. But there are some resistance happening right now, so let's hope that the resistance is enough until people wake up and do something. Answer to your first question, anything is possible. Yes, anything is possible. And over here it says, because Russia has more gold than the world needs. See, here's the thing. When we go into the gold standard and you back the currency up by gold, you know what I mean? You don't actually send the gold out. It's just supportive. Hey, Pimpy, just what type of Russian ruble are you talking about? As there are several different kinds. I want to start investing in some. Whatever the current Russian ruble is, let's take a look. So you can see these are the Russian rubles. There's different denominations. I don't think it would make a difference what denomination you get. It's just up to you. Believe it or not, it'd probably be smarter to go for the lower denominations in case the dollar gets so strong that they do away with the higher denominations, which don't get me wrong, 5,000 is not a lot, but we don't have a $5,000 bill. We don't have a $1,000 bill. So if this currency gets that strong, you can see them all lower in their denominations. That's just my opinion. But yeah, you can see there's all kinds of different denominations. So I guess it would be up to you which ones you want. But my opinion is I would shoot for the lower ones, RV or not. It's possible. I made plenty of videos letting you guys know my opinion on it, but I don't want to say it's not going to happen because I don't believe that. I believe it's possible, but more likely it's going to go up in stages. That's just my opinion. Everyone will be forced to do this or their currency will become fire starter. Yeah, the Lee's right. That says you're talking about the gold standard. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was just saying. Pimpy, can you please do a live stream chat with Nader? Yeah, if Nader wants to. I don't know what our time difference is, but I can hit him up and talk to him. Yeah, Ralphie's a beast. Yeah, I like him. The funny thing is, I like the other day when he was doing a video, when he started to make, he was taking a crack at Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and his joke, the way he just kind of laughed and went over to the side. He's nerdy, that's for sure, but I dig him, man. He's funny. I love listening to him talk. But yeah, when he cracked that joke, I about fell out of my chair. Like I said to you earlier, it's getting closer than you think. We'll see, that's for sure. 322, Putin for president. But Pimpy, Iraq would need to increase their rate first. If they do that now, they would take a loss for their oil. Russia has oil and gold like Iraq. Well, it's the strategy that Putin is using. He's purposely underselling. He's going to be purposely discounting his oil where it makes it irresistible. And the fact that you have to use the rubles to do it, and then he's backing it up at a fixed rate that's less than spot market. Trust me, all of that is a strategy because then people are going to go in there and buy the currency in droves because it's discounted and the gold is discounted, so you can't resist it. So between the oil and the gold, it's going to cause a flood of money to go in there and gold at the same time. So yeah, it's a smart move what he's doing, and I'm hoping it has the effect that I hope it does, and that is putting everybody in the gold standard, and we just avoid the central bank digital currency altogether. Anyways, that's it for now. Look, I appreciate you guys commenting. I try to get back to them when I can. Unfortunately, my life's been a little crazy lately with a couple of deaths in the family, and now today my little dog ran off, and I have no idea where he's at. So McLovin, he's a cutie, but he likes to get underneath the fence, and then our backyard is filled, and so it makes me nervous when he's running out there because I always see hawks and eagles and stuff like that go by, and I try to call him, and the little booger is just elusive. So he has not been back today, and so I'm a little concerned. Hopefully, I will see him tomorrow or tonight. Anyways, that's it for now. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I want to take this time to thank everybody who takes part and listens to my video. You have a great day. I'm out.